episode 35. Chat with Gunner coming to you live. Terminal 57, which is not as nice as Joe Rogan's new studio in Austin.
Dude.
Have you seen that thing?
It is. It looks like he just like laid over a grain silo and just built in it. And I love it.
It is amazing. It is everything that you would think a Joe Rogan studio is. It is
3 Buddhas.
so many Buddhas.
So many Buddhas.
So many chimpanzee skulls, metal chimpanzee skulls. Oh, man.
I think what I like most about it is that he had to start from scratch again.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't have all of the random stuff that the old studio has.
Right.
And so he's now back to square one with the major things that you would be like, why isn't that there? Like
right.
the big ass Buddhas.
Well, he has have you seen his roof? Like the ceiling?
No.
So he hasn't said anything about it like he has some of the other things. But from what it looks like to me, and knowing the type of guy that Joe is,
wait,
it looks like it's a vent system.
Yeah.
Like a high-powered vent system that would be like in a cigar room or in a restaurant, except in his studio.
It looks almost Star Wars.
Yeah.
It looks like the random greats in like the prequel, not prequels, the original trilogy, like the grungy.
It looks like it's a barrel sauna. It looks like it's built like a barrel. When
I looked at it again just now, when I looked it up, it almost looks like it's on a fucking plane.
On a plane?
Yeah. What if that's what he just blows everybody out of the water with? He's just like, yeah, so we're currently flying while talking.
Right.
So we're taking this everywhere.
An aircast.
That would be so freaking cool.
Man, I know that. So a little bit of frustration here from some people, some of the huge JRE fans out there, such as myself. And I haven't listened as much here recently because I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks, but it just gives me more reason to kind of catch up on the catalog. Because I hate being caught up on Joe Rogan, because then it's like, when's the next one come out? So I have a few episodes to go back and dive into. But the far right-wing conservative podcast guests are not included into the Spotify library.
But did you see what Alex Jones said about that?
No, I did not.
He said specifically that this is the first wave for Spotify. They got the majority of the catalog in. But with the second wave, more than likely half of those, because a lot of them are like Joey Diaz. And those are really good episodes.
Right.
Because it's Joey Diaz
yeah.
and Joe Rogan. But he also said that Joe has a specific idea about 100 episodes, greatest hits, that stay on YouTube and YouTube only. So Alex Jones, Joey Diaz, more than likely. I can't imagine Milo Yiannopoulos would be on there. But
he's one of the ones that's not on the list.
I think Ben Shapiro made it on to Spotify, but that would also be in that same realm. So like, it's a weird moment in time of like.
But Ben is not as like F word.
No,
you know. So
you're right.
I can see how that stays.
But it's all a game. And more than likely, again, like Alex said, it's more than likely just technical issues of just like, how do we put 1,500 episodes of one thing all up in one time? And Jamie's probably losing his freaking mind because, let's be honest here, he's probably the one having to send them to Spotify to do.
Well, I mean, just think about it, though. I mean, episode 911 was one of the greatest episodes ever on JRE.
Which one was that one?
Alex Jones.
The first one?
Yeah.
Jeez.
That was Alex Jones, and I don't know if that one was Eddie Bravo or not.
Eddie Bravo was on both of them, I believe.
I want to say, 9/11, because that was when they started talking about the Twin Towers and stuff like that. On that conspiracy.
And then the second one was mostly
I think that was when
Sandy Hook.
When Bravo and Jones met for the first time.
I think so.
On 9/11. So, yeah.
God, two of my favorite Alex Jones quotes ever have been Joe, listen, Joe. I'm kind of retarded.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Great line, and then like literally that same episode is like, listen, we're all kind of gay.
Yeah. Right.
It's just like
Yep.
Alex Jones and Joe Rogan being two people that like are friends never passed my mind back in high school.
Right.
Because like in high school, I wasn't alt-right. I wasn't even right. But I was just like, I've got to know who Alex Jones is because he was super big, and the fact that he went to Bohemian Grove and stuff like that was super interesting to me.
Yeah.
And then I started listening to him a lot more, and I was like, I could do with that.
But he's not like, as we get deeper into 2020, he's not too far off.
No, and that's
the scary part.
That's what I've come to terms with.
Yeah.
Is Alex Jones is crazy. Like we can say that.
Yeah.
But he's not insane.
Yeah. No.
He's got enough knowledge about what has happened before that he has a decently informed educational guess.
Yes, and he's pretty spot on. If not spot on, he's at least on the same highway.
Yeah, and it's a little scary.
Yeah, man, it's a little crazy.
But no, I mean, God, Joe Rogan. That is exactly when we built out this podcast studio. I was like, we need to just need to copy it. Like, if anything, the technology, because that's all I deal with. That's all I care to deal with, really.
Right.
But if we do it right with how Joe Rogan does it and how Jamie has set it all up, we'll be fine. We're still not there yet.
No.
But we'll get there.
Ethan, my next house, I know we were talking about this. My next house will have a studio room.
Good.
And it's going to be set up like a home office / studio. It's going to be perfect.
Oh, you're going to want to have those separate. I'm just going to let you know that right now.
Think so?
Yeah. You're going to want to have an office space. And then, honestly, I would almost argue that maybe don't even have it in the house. Just put it in, have a big enough yard to put it in the backyard.
A studio?
Like a decently sized studio, yeah.
I would worry about rain and flooding. And
that's why you build it properly.
I know that. But I'm just, when I think backyard, I think shed or detached garage, which both.
A detached garage wouldn't be too bad.
Welcome water.
Well, yeah, you're right. But if you build it right, if you do it right, it can be a good space.
Yeah.
And that's also just, maybe it's the Asian in me, just the feng shui coming out.
It would just be the concrete slab you put it on.
Exactly. You don't want where you work in the same, you don't want to be in the same building as where you plan to do a lot of work.
So pretty much what you're telling me is that my detached home gym needs to also have a studio aspect to it.
A little bit. I would argue that, yeah.
So pretty much what you're telling me is that I need an Iron Paradise and a Joe Rogan podcast studio.
They could also just be the same thing, yes.
Yeah.
I'm surprised, personally, but although he is also doing literally everything in the world, I'm surprised Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has not just done a podcast.
Well, you've heard him talk about that, right?
I haven't.
He
figured you'd know, though.
Yeah, right, and we'll get to him in a minute because I'm a little upset with him. So he doesn't have to know that.
We don't have to talk about it like that.
I'm a little upset. It's not like that. I'm a little upset with him for two different reasons, and they both happen within a week. So, if there's anybody that gets, 9 lives, it's The Rock in my heart. So we'll talk about it. But
yeah. But
so The Rock said, The Rock says that he doesn't want to do podcasts because he has so many friends, good friends, that do podcasts, and he has so little time that he can't choose which podcast to do specifically.
That's what I'm saying. Just do his own. But he's also doing a lot. That's what I said.
If he was to appear on a podcast, it would be Stone Cold Steve Austin's.
Of course. Yeah.
And that podcast might be the most listened to podcast.
100%.
It would trump several Joe Rogan podcasts.
Oh, of course. 100%. And that would be, if they do it right, I could imagine Stone Cold and The Rock just talking for 5 hours.
Yeah, and that's what you'd want it to be.
Of course.
You wouldn't, everything that you see The Rock in all seems very reality TV-ish.
He definitely has a team that has curated what his outward persona is, and that's okay.
Yes.
honestly, that's probably part of his success is having a good team around him to say, this is good to post, this is not good to post.
And he's not an idiot, so he knows, like, he sticks to the script.
He's a smart person with a lot of smart people around him. That's only going to win.
So, like, for example, Dwayne came out yesterday on the Instagram and said that recently, within the past 2.5 weeks, that he and his wife and his children tested positive for corona, which is cool.
Yeah.
What I thought was cool about it was that he did it after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, oh, hey, look at me, I got the corona.
Please pray for us.
Yeah.
Like,
what drives me crazy, though, is that the news is taking it as it is a new developing story and happening right now.
Yeah.
The Rock has corona. No, not really.
He had.
The Rock tested positive for corona. Well, kinda.
He did.
Kinda, you know. Obviously, he was very asymptomatic, and everyone else was, because he didn't seem sick, and he didn't speak of being sick. He said that it was one of the roughest things he's ever had to go through.
But he's also gone through a lot of rough stuff.
But he's went through a lot of rough stuff, being broke, sports injuries, being sick in the past. But he didn't talk about the sickness. All he talked about was it worried him testing positive because he felt like he couldn't protect his family, and that's what
it was
disappointed
out of
him.
his hands. And that, you know what? I can respect that.
I can too. And the fact that, his family got it, but obviously, nobody's sick. But that kind of seems to be the story with everyone, right? It's just like,
I had it.
I got it. Unless I'm super left, I didn't experience any symptoms.
What does that tell you about The Rock, though?
Right? He's a conservative.
Well, he may be middle of the ground because he did. Evidently, he had symptoms. Obviously, it was a rough time. That's fair.
He didn't say that.
He said it was the hardest thing he had to go through.
Go back and listen to it. It's the hardest thing he ever had to go through because he felt like he couldn't protect his family.
Yeah.
Not because I was coughing. Dude's been posting workout videos.
Yeah, I was about to say, thinking back.
Drinking tequila. Like this. He acts like we haven't seen his Instagram in the past 2.5 weeks.
That man probably tested positive and said, I'm going to go work out anyway.
Yeah.
And that's what I told me and the guys were talking about yesterday when I first saw it. I was like, of anybody that has ever gotten a sickness, I'm pretty sure The Rock was the least worried.
Yeah, so I mean, let me just look at this, and you can keep talking about this.
Yeah,
but
just because, let's be honest here, and maybe this does or does not extend to his family, but I imagine all of them are in pretty good shape.
It looks like his wife is in good shape, and his baby girls, I mean, they're less than 5 years old. So.
Yeah, so they're, him and his wife are probably two of the most healthiest people in the world. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's only coming from being The Rock and then being married to The Rock.
So let's just think about this. August 16th.
Mm-hmm. Would have been 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yep.
All right. And he said for 2.5 weeks he's had it, right? On August 16th, he posted a picture of his weight belt. That weight belt is drenched in sweat inside of the Iron Paradise. Sunday Fun Day. Let's
God.
Let's move up a little bit. Oh, the next day, buys the XFL.
Oh yeah,
let's move on a little bit.
That's the killer thing about this whole thing. He bought the XFL while he had corona.
Oh, a couple days later, showed up and did the DC fandom thing virtually. Yeah. Huh? What else happened here?
Yeah, he was.
I guess Terramana tequila is the easiest way to combat the corona.
Drinking. Who knew?
Oh man, so it's things like like people are like, oh no, The Rock was sick. No, when was this? 2 days ago. He looks perfectly fine as he's holding 8 XFL helmets that he just bought the league of. So come on, guys.
Kills me that he just straight up was just like.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's look at him right here. I think he might have No, I'm sorry. I think he might have gained a neck. I think he gained extra muscles during the coronavirus.
So the only thing that I thought about that was weird was there was something off about his face that maybe I've just never seen The Rock enough. But there was something about maybe I'm weird because I had a cleft lip, but I looked at his lip, his upper lip. Yeah. And it was just weird to me. And I was like, is he clean shaven? Is that what it is?
Might be.
Because he always does have a little bit of a stubble.
Yeah.
It's probably that. But
maybe.
I don't know. And it blows my mind that anybody's worried about The Rock.
Well, yeah, like you text me and it was like, "Hey, The Rock's got the Rona," and I was like, "The Rona might disappear if The Rock gets it. Like it might be the last day of it. Like he might. It's not messing with the great one." Anyways, the other thing I was upset about The Rock with was last week, the Project Rock 3s were supposed to drop. Right?
They dropped last night, right?
They dropped
This morning.
Today.
Yeah,
this morning.
He posted a video with them.
So obviously, guys, I mean, Project Rock here.
You can't see it, but he's also wearing Project Rock's shoes.
Yeah, I've got the shoes on. I usually have shorts on. Literally, the only thing I don't have is any of the Project Rock socks, and I don't have any of the Project Rock like compression shorts or compression tights.
That's fair.
But I have several bags. I have several hats. I have several tracksuits. I have multiple shirts, both tank top, short sleeve, long sleeve, hoodies, sweatshirts, sweatpants, shorts, multiple of these. And I don't have the original Project Rocks, but I have the Project Rock ones in every color but one, the Project Rock 2s in every color but one, and officially the owner of the Project Rock 3s. It was just dropped today. So
you already bought them?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
They'll be in next week.
Were they pre-ordered?
They weren't pre-ordered, and this is why I was upset with him, because first of all, we got a little bit of a deal. Somebody that I might be really close to, live with, share my life with, is a veteran and gets a pretty good deal through Under Armour, right? So it makes sense it makes sense for me to get these things. And that's really the only stuff I get. Anyways, so
that's literally your whole wardrobe.
Yeah, literally. I've told her, I was like, at some point within the next year or two, I want a Project Rock closet so that I can take the ultimate picture that he will get his hands on. Because I have 2 unopened bottles of Terramana tequila.
Jeez.
In both. Tia gets me all this stuff, dude. She's the greatest. Anyways.
I want me a Tia. Damn.
Dude, everyone should get them a Tia. I love her. Anyways, 2 bottles of Terramana tequila in both flavors.
Damn.
That I'll never open, ever.
Yeah.
I'll never open them.
Never.
I don't even really drink, so I'll never open them. Sitting right next to my proper 12 whiskey from Conor McGregor. Well, anyways. Yeah. So, if I had I literally could have a Batman closet of Project Rock gear.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I could probably build it for you, but you could have you have your closet.
Yeah.
But then your closet opens up like a Bruce Wayne's.
Yes.
And it's just, you go in and it's just Project Rock.
Well, I've told everyone's. Let me get back to the reason why I'm upset with The Rock, the great one.
You can't be.
I'm a little bit, man. Okay, here's the deal. So last Thursday, these shoes were going to drop. And they didn't. Why did they not drop?
The hurricane.
Nope.
Really?
Last Thursday, why did these shoes not drop? Why did NBA players not play a basketball game?
Yeah.
So The Rock didn't drop his shoes due to the murder of, what's the guy's name? Jacob
Blake?
Jacob Blake.
Yeah. I was even hesitant to even say it, but
Jacob Blake, the guy that may or may not have raped a 14-year-old girl.
And may or may not have went for a knife.
Yeah. May or may not. Allegedly. Went for a knife. He allegedly raped a 14-year-old girl. And
all alleged. We don't know.
And allegedly had the cops called on him to remove him from the premises in the first place. And allegedly didn't want to, work with the cops.
And allegedly had already assaulted a woman that day.
So that guy is the reason why I had to wait 1 week to get the new Project Rock shoes.
That's the moral of the story?
Yeah.
Yeah. We went through all of that because
the Rock delayed his new shoe collection because of that guy.
Well, to be fair, that's all on The Rock. He can do whatever he wants. They're his shoes.
That's true.
But
so it is what it is. I get it.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised you didn't buy me something Project Rock for my birthday.
You know what? Honestly, dude, I didn't know it was your birthday coming up.
It was.
I got to put that in my calendar.
August 19th.
But you know what I do have coming up? Christmas. I do have Christmas coming up.
That is true.
And Halloween. I don't know what you'll get for Halloween.
I'm kind of afraid now.
Yeah, so that's good. Now, where was I going with that? With The Rock. The Rock.
No, we touched on both the points.
Well, we
already
talked
did
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about how he gained muscle.
He kind of looked better during coronavirus than after.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it, he during that 2.5 week span, he posted multiple workout videos, multiple workout pictures, and himself drinking tequila.
Yeah,
but also
he
said
didn't
it was
stop.
one of the worstest times of his life. I don't know. If working out and drinking tequila is a bad time of your life, being the number one paid movie star without starring in a movie in 2020, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Well, to be fair, his competition's also not.
Who started the movie in 2020?
They had January and February.
Yeah. But did he have a January, February movie?
Nope.
Exactly.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, good for him.
All he had was Jungle Cruise,
And it didn't even come out.
and it didn't even come out.
But he got paid.
Yep. He did
So-
get paid. And then he had Red Notice they were filming, and then they got pushed.
Which reminds me, and I'd mentioned this to you today, like early on.
Yeah.
God, movies are back. I'm going to see Tenet in IMAX at some point this weekend.
Wait a minute. What do you mean they're back?
You can go to movies again.
To what theater?
All of them.
Like right now? Like if I want to go to a movie tonight.
Okay, do you want to just end this podcast so we can go see Tenet in IMAX? Because it starts at 7.
Well, no, but date night tomorrow is going to the movie now.
Exactly.
I love them.
Dude,
That's the one
miss
thing I've missed.
Yeah. Also, just a PSA to everybody out there, AMC Stubbs A-List, which is the one that you get 3 free movies every week, is now $5 for right now.
So what is Tenet?
Tenet is the new Christopher Nolan movie.
Oh, with Pattinson.
Yeah, Pattinson, and who else? There's somebody else in it that's
Yeah,
like-
a legit guy.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Did we talk about Pattinson? I think that was the
no,
episode.
We got distracted.
No. I think it was the episode that we lost the audio on.
Okay.
So
Yes, talk about that.
So Pattinson, we were both a little hesitant, and I think both of us are now sold on that movie.
Well, here was my thing all along. I hated the fact that he didn't want to work out, or that he even made the comments.
Yeah.
But I also said this entire time that I thought with the way they filmed the movie and lighting and the bat suit, most important, he'd probably be all right because he's a good actor.
He does have just like random like combat boots. Not an interesting on the feet.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny.
I didn't even pay attention to that.
God, that trailer's just so good.
Let's see.
But no, God, that trailer when it dropped, I watched it about 10 times. So I was like, what can I glean off of this trailer? Because it was so good.
I am vengeance.
And then he just fucking beats to a pulp whatever guy that was.
Yeah, that was a very dark fight scene for a Batman, you know?
Even for a Batman, that was dark.
So it's got Denzel Washington's son in it.
Yeah.
Who was in Ballers, John David Washington.
There's somebody else though.
It's got Michael Caine in it.
Michael Caine.
From is it what?
Good old Michael Caine.
Oh yeah. What is that? Is that Duke?
It's a podcast.
Yeah.
This is Don Morocco and Bob Moore.
Ah.
He clearly doesn't get paid.
So that's the guy that's got like all these he's got like all the mid-card wrestlers from the 90s doing podcasts.
Yeah. Look at the quality though.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Totally random.
No, I've seen a little bit of it.
Oh God.
That guy is like
Dude on the bottom right, that's his podcast. Look at him late guy.
So Conrad gets like all the good guys from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah,
And this guy is getting all the mid-card guys from the 80s and 90s that
by the way, looks like a sleazy used car salesman.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Can we tune in for a second?
No.
No. I don't want to deal
We're
with
not
them.
live, so it's okay.
I don't want to deal with them. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, you can tune in for a second. You can do whatever you want to.
We're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
But Pattinson.
Duke might beat your ass with, well, he'd have to throw his foot at you, probably. But,
Damn.
you know. Is what.
Damn. Jesus.
Anyways, what else?
Just that trailer. God.
Yeah, it's good.
I texted this to you. It has bits in it that make me very excited because there's a comic series or a comic line of Batman that would go right hand in hand, and the duct tape face is the biggest key because that, and just to say it, it's seeming like it's Hush, which is a very, very good Batman story.
Spin off or Batman comic part.
It's a storyline. It's not to spoil it, but it's Batman going against like somebody that evidently knows who Bruce Wayne is and just goes at it.
Who is playing the Riddler?
It's one of those like weirdly. It's kind of like having Robert Pattinson as Batman.
Mm-hmm.
He's like an ancillary. He's always played like either secondary roles or his big roles have been smaller movies, but he's getting this one chance.
This is his shot.
Yeah, this is a shot, and I think he like looking at him, he looks like he's gonna do really good.
And who's playing? Colin Farrell is playing
The Penguin.
the Penguin.
And I mentioned that to you. He put on pounds for that.
Yeah,
That is a lot of weight
he looks rough.
for that guy to put on. He was just in like a couple years ago. He was in the Fantastic Beasts. He looked great.
What was Colin Farrell in? Was he in Miami Vice?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but is Colin Farrell not a good-looking guy?
Oh yeah,
With
yeah.
like long, like usually has kind of like the 3/4 long hair and like, yeah.
Yeah, he looks decent. Yeah.
He
And
looks
he puts
awful.
he looks like the Penguin. Good for him that he can put on that much weight and
Is
feel healthy.
Danny DeVito still alive?
He is.
Well, why is he not the Penguin?
Rights probably.
Well,
It is WB though. I can't
he
imagine.
came out the womb the Penguin. It's frustrating.
Yeah. There are some choices that have been made, but
And how is Jim Carrey not the Riddler? I don't understand.
that's just going back. That's just redoing.
No, Jim Carrey is a completely different person now.
That is true. He could. Jim Carrey could probably pull off the Riddler, just like they pulled off Joker.
Yeah.
He could play the darker, like, very dark.
If he had a
movie
second shot,
Riddler.
he
Yeah.
would crush it.
That's the worst thing about half of those movies from like the 90s, especially Batman and Robin. I actually kind of liked Schwarzenegger as
Mr. Freeze?
Mr. Freeze, but he had such bad lines.
Yeah.
He went for it though. You can tell.
Arnold always goes for
He
it.
goes for it. He didn't half-ass that.
As long as he doesn't have to say more than 10 words in a sentence,
He's fine.
he's
Yeah.
golden.
I mean, Terminator, he says what, 5 words?
I'll be
Yeah.
back. 3.
Yeah. There's a good study on like how little a character has to say before they're a bad character. Like how much they can say before they're a bad character
Yeah.
and how little they can say and be a very good character.
Yeah. Every Sylvester Stallone, every
Exactly.
Rock, every Arnold, every Chuck
Yeah.
Norris, every Steven Seagal.
Mhm.
Like,
Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal's a goat.
He's a weird guy.
He's a very weird guy, but he's goat. Nobody can say they didn't, before all the internet age got here, nobody can say they didn't believe Steven Seagal in the 80s and the 90s.
Before the internet.
Even
yes.
when he got fat.
Well, got fat? He was always a little.
He always wore the same size glasses, like the little bitty glasses that barely covered his
Yes.
eyes, but as he got fatter, his like fat was showing up above the glasses.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. I don't know.
Um,
I feel like Steven Seagal is past his prime.
Oh, yeah.
About 20 years later.
Yeah, probably. Jean-Claude Van Damme now.
That man will never. He was born in the prime.
Yeah, cocaine's hell of a drug.
It's something.
Yeah, that's the reason why his reality show got canceled.
Damn.
Yeah. That's how he stays so lean.
I can imagine. No, I mean, what else is going on? should we-
Boseman died.
Yeah, that was about to get there. Like, and that talk about a goat of just an actor, whatever have you. That man went through 4 years of what I can only imagine is excruciating pain and just the worst thing imaginable, and he still pulled off all of those movies.
So Black Panther was in that time frame.
Yeah.
So
Black-
he filmed Black Panther with
He
cancer.
filmed Civil War with cancer.
I
I
never
would-
saw that.
Civil War was pretty good.
I need to watch it.
Yeah. And that's his first appearance as Black Panther. But the fact that
Oh,
he-
you're talking about
yeah.
Captain America Civil
Yeah.
War. Okay, I'm about to say
Yeah.
I've never seen a movie called Civil War. I got you. I've seen that.
But he filmed. I think what people have been rumoring is that like he had it when he did 42.
When he was in Chattanooga.
Yeah, for the Jackie Robinson story.
That
And
was like when I was in high school or when I was in college. Or
yeah,
high school.
That was high school for me too. So like maybe not.
What was it 2012?
12, 13, I think maybe.
Okay, so I was
So maybe not. But still, if anything, all of Black Panther, literally T'Challa the entire time had cancer. I can respect that.
yeah.
And that what kicks me in the ass is that when coronavirus first started earlier this year, everyone saw like a picture of him. Like I think it was actually when the riots and protests started. He sent out a video just like, guys, be peaceful. Don't go ahead. Don't get in over your head or something like that.
Yeah.
And he looked so sick. And when people were like, oh, is he doing a new role? Like he looked like Christian Bale did when he did The Machinist.
Yeah.
And people were like really worried, but then we didn't hear anything.
Or like McConaughey in Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh God, Jesus!
God, he looked dead.
Like people that method act like that, like there's something wrong, but I can respect it.
Dude, they take it so serious to entertain people that's what they
again,
do.
Christian Bale, say what you want about him. I think he's a very good actor.
Well, he was a great Batman.
He's a great Batman.
And then my man went and played Homeboy, the president's guy.
Yeah.
Well, who'd he play?
Wait, no. Did he do Cheney?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
There were a lot of names in that movie that I was like, really?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, it blows my mind when people do that. But with Chadwick, he just was sick and nobody knew. And literally everyone said we had no idea. Even Joe Rogan, who said that he was decent friends with him, said he had no idea.
Yeah.
And that I respect it a lot because of what time period we live in,
Mm-hmm.
of where The Rock, he's on the good side of it, but he still said like, hey, I had coronavirus. I'm on the other side of it. We're good now. Chadwick didn't even say that.
Yeah.
He didn't say a damn thing.
Yeah.
He just stayed quiet because probably mostly because of what was going on, and he was an activist. He was outspoken,
Yeah.
but he just didn't say anything at all. Even Roman Reigns said something.
Yeah.
Like and nobody. I think when I remember like watching something about Roman Reigns and him walking away, nobody gave him shit about it. It was just like, hey, you do your thing. You like.
Well, I mean, when you have leukemia twice,
Yeah.
and this thing comes out that nobody really knows, really at that time, nobody really knows. And he's like, well, I'm probably not going to risk my life for wrestling, so
Yeah.
I'm going to go take a break.
And he comes back, and evidently he's doing pretty good now.
Well, he's a champ, and he's got new set of teeth.
Good for him.
So, doing
But
all
no,
right.
like I think that's the biggest thing to take away from Chadwick Boseman. Not only that he was a great actor and he paved the way for a lot of actors, I think, going forward.
Right.
He is an idol for my generation, for sure. All the black kids, minorities alone, like not even just black kids, minorities alone. He's an idol.
Yeah.
But the fact that he could go through all of that, do such a good performance as Black Panther, looking great, by the way, for having cancer.
Yeah. Looked pretty good. I don't know if it was a suit or not, but it looked pretty good.
No, he looked pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, and he's a martial artist. He was
Yeah.
studying all that for that role.
Yeah, and what kills me about Black Panther is like that martial art is like a mixture of a lot of things, but it's its own thing.
Right.
And I don't think there's a lot of practitioners of it, and that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was good, man. And I mean, you get to be the face of, an all-black cast superhero movie.
Fuck yeah. Yeah,
That's,
can't hate it.
It's like being MLK.
Yeah.
Like he's as close as we can get to a thing like that.
Yeah.
And to die so young, unexpectedly,
Well, not
and,
as
and
young
not
as you think,
complaining.
but
He's
yeah.
43.
but still, yeah, 43 is young
Yeah,
now.
he's kind of one of those guys where we would think he was in his mid 30s and have
Exactly.
plenty of superhero movies left,
All
and
of
then
the-
we're like,
all of the Marvel guys are like way older than I ever thought they were,
yeah.
especially Ant-Man.
That's why I'm telling you. Oh, speaking of living forever, Neuralink. Did you watch
Oh
it?
God. Okay, let's finish up on Chadwick, and then we can go into Neuralink.
All right.
GOAT, no matter what, and the best, probably one of the better superheroes. Like he is. If Marvel has a 3, like the Holy Trinity, like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Captain America, Iron Man, and honestly, at this point, Black Panther, for the cinematic universe.
Yeah, if you're looking at like I don't know how you. I guess.
Just the characters,
I mean, everyone's got their own opinion,
of course.
but I think if you had to go Mount Rushmore,
Okay, that's 4.
he's a strong 4.
Oh yeah.
Strong 4.
What's the third then?
Well, he might be 3,
Well, what's
but he's
who is rounding
definitely
out that
in the
cast?
strong 4.
Because it's Captain America and Iron Man, obviously, but I don't put Thor up there yet. I think when his new movie comes out, because Ragnarok was really good, and his whole thing through Infinity War and Endgame, very, very good, but he's not there yet.
Yeah.
And Hulk hasn't even gotten his own solo movie yet, and that's a crime.
Well, he's had several movies, but not him playing it,
Yes,
which is the sad part.
yes, 100%. I just don't have another top tier hero for the cinematic universe.
So you went Captain America, Iron Man,
Black Panther.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, you're right. Like Spider-Man, here's the thing about Spider-Man. Spider-Man is just Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know.
In America, Spider-Man literally has never done bad.
Right.
He's an American icon. And we can talk about this later. But the movies from the 2000s that came out right after 9/11, and the fact that every single one of those movies ends with Spider-Man next to an American flag tells you something.
Yeah.
Those are good movies.
Yeah. Great movies.
But
And Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man is my Mount Rushmore. Not this new guy. The Tobey Maguire.
hold on.
He's like, not bad.
Tom Holland is very good.
Not bad, but he's not my Spider-Man.
Here's what I say about Spider-Man is the original Spider-Man that we grew up with, he is a good Peter Parker.
Okay.
He didn't have the witty jokes that Spider-Man is known for when he was Spider-Man. He had some, but not like Andrew Garfield, who is a good Spider-Man, but a terrible Peter Parker.
Okay.
Tom Holland has both.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Not the best at either,
No,
but a little bit of both.
But he's the great pick for like a cinematic universe.
He's the Will Smith version of a Spider-Man. Not great at anything,
but he's good at
but
a
he's
lot.
pretty good at all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And dude, the more rumors that come out about Spider-Man 3 for the MCU,
Is that Venom?
well, Venom is working towards like getting into the MCU, which is
Okay.
exciting
Yeah.
because you have Vulture, the guy, fucking Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
His Vulture shows up in the Morbius trailer, and Morbius is supposed to be in the same universe as Venom. It's a little finicky because
Yeah.
it's Sony and their IPs versus what Disney has with Marvel.
Yeah.
It's a little wonky.
Gotcha.
But the fact that Michael Keaton is in Morbius, that is supposed to be in the same universe as Venom, I feel like they're working towards getting a crossover.
Yeah.
And that'll be exciting. Especially when we have Carnage, that's going to be the second Venom movie,
Yeah.
played by Woody Harrelson.
Okay.
It's a little weird.
Yeah.
There's a lot of backstory, just like with the Batman and Hush.
Right.
There's a lot of rumors about Carnage and what storylines they
Carnage
could pick for
is
that.
like the dark red one.
Yeah, he's the red one.
Yeah.
It's basically if you took Venom and you put him into an even worse person.
The other symbiote or
Yeah.
symbiote or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very Carnage
you
is a
didn't
very good
expect
villain.
that. You didn't expect that
I didn't.
nerdiness. Yeah,
I
know.
didn't,
I know you
actually.
didn't.
I expected you to say it like Sony does, symbiote. It's the
Right.
worst thing ever. But no. But with Spider-Man 3 MCU, if they're gonna merge those universes, which aren't specifically said that they're in the same universe yet,
Yeah.
there's a possibility that we could get Into the Spider-Verse, live action. We get all 3 Spider-Men back.
Ooh.
Tobey Maguire comes through and he's like, you're Peter Parker. I'm Peter Parker. There's a bad guy that we both need to fight. Come on.
Well, Into the Spider-Verse is the best Spider-Man I've seen so far.
Oh, of course. Yeah. And the fact that it's a Miles Morales story even makes it better.
Marcus loves that show.
Of course.
Literally, dude, I've watched it. I haven't sat down and watched the entire movie, but I have watched the entire movie maybe 100 times.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I was the same way with, I think Frozen, because my little sister loved it.
Okay.
But I refused.
Yeah, you refused to give it 2 hours.
Yes.
But you gave it a bunch of 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%. And my little sister's that kind of, kid where she's like, okay, I want to go back and watch the first one.
Marcus could literally could watch it, look at me, ask for something to drink, watch it one more time.
Of course.
I'm
Kids are just like that.
Yeah, I guess I was like that too.
Yeah,
I used to be able to quote Fast and the Furious, like beginning to end. That's pretty strong.
That was me with Harry Potter.
Okay.
Like, that time period, it was 1 through 3.
Yeah.
Around 4, I dropped off of that kind of kick.
Right.
But I mean, Harry Potter's good.
Yeah, it's good. Lord of the Rings, good.
Lord of the Rings is very good. The Hobbit, disappointment.
Hobbits, yeah. All the Lord of the Rings was good. I wish they'd redo those now with modern graphics.
Here's the thing. When you look back at them, they hold up.
Yeah, they do hold up.
They've got plenty of practical effects, which is good. And the war scenes, they were so state-of-the-art that the only thing that really compares now is Infinity War, when they have, and Endgame, when they have both big battles.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
You can't
And
really
those are
hate on them.
ridiculous.
God. Every time I hear the Portal song from Endgame,
Yeah.
I kind of tear up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so good.
All right.
But Neuralink,
Neuralink.
we can make it quick because
No, we can't make it clean. No, I looked at my watch because my sister just texted me.
Okay. But Neuralink, I have not watched it yet
Okay.
because I was just like, it came out at a weird time. I was at work. I just didn't have time.
Well, first of all, it's an hour,
Back to it.
so
Yeah.
don't watch that.
Yeah.
Go to the 7-minute video. That's all you
That's
need.
fair. But I heard they put it in a pig
Yep.
and a cow,
Mm-hmm.
and people were a little confused.
Why were they confused?
For whatever reason, they were just like,
Confused as why they chose those animals?
well, no. I think what they were confused about were like, why are you showing us this? Just show us when you get to human trials.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like, don't hype it up now, because then by the time we get there, we're going to be overhyped.
Right.
Hype us up at the right time.
Well, I think this hype. So the last hype they did prior to this was they're not doing any trials.
Yeah.
So the hype for that was to get people to approve any trial.
That's fair.
So now they're doing the trials on animals, which have worked.
Mm-hmm.
So hype that up as in, obviously it's working. Here's what we're seeing. The brain waves are showing that it's working. Like there's like some type of link there. There's a Neuralink there.
Yeah.
So now let us do it on humans. Here it is. Obviously, here's a little giraffe going off.
Yeah.
It's not going off on those 2 piggies, but on that one with the Neuralink, it's going off. You say its name, it's going off. It knows you're saying its name.
That's the key about Neuralink too. Is like, it's not only going to make us able to speak to each other. I think that's going to bridge the gap between humans and animals. Just like being able to actually just be like talking to your dog.
Yeah.
It's gonna be weird.
So I wonder if you'd have to get your dog Neuralink and you get Neuralink.
Yes. Because it would just connect the two.
So you have to. So correct me if I'm wrong, but you have to be interacting with someone with a Neuralink, kind of like interacting with someone with a phone.
Yeah. That is what Elon has said about this. This is just taking the phone and putting it in your brain so that there's no input visually and physically.
Yeah.
It's going to be basically just you're able to do whatever you're able to do with your phone in your Neuralink, probably more obviously because it's a new technology.
Yeah.
But his main like thing that he's going to work towards is removing the input.
Yeah.
Remove input, therefore making humans
faster output.
Yes, 100%. And our brains work at lightning speed. We hardly are able to comprehend how fast a human brain can think.
Yeah.
And if you can think stuff and it just happens, what the fuck?
It was funny because he goes, the reason for having this is not this, but for example, if you're going to France and you want to know how to speak French, you just download this thing to your brain, and now you speak French.
That's so weird.
But the reason they're doing it is for like Alzheimer's and people with Tourette's.
Here's something.
And people that are deaf and people that are blind, those type things.
Here's the thing that Neil deGrasse Tyson and his book. I don't know if you ever listened to those. They're very good.
I love Neil deGrasse Tyson, but I haven't listened to his book.
I like him because of what he stands for and what he does. He's kind of like Bill Nye. They're both people that are the stepping stones to getting into science.
Mm-hmm.
If you can listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about anything, and you'll understand what he's talking about because he talks about it in a way that is
scientific
digestible.
method.
Yeah, it's digestible for the layperson. And that's not a bad thing. If you don't know anything about science, there's nothing wrong with you.
Right.
Science is complicated.
Very complicated. That's why we haven't figured it out.
Exactly. But Neil deGrasse Tyson is one of those people that's figuring it out.
He's figuring it out.
But he's also an astrophysicist.
Mm.
He's not a scientist in everything. So whenever he's talking about something that he's not a scientist in, take it with a grain of salt, but also respect that he's probably done enough research.
Yeah.
But what he says about stuff, I think it's called The Anatomy of War. The whole reason for our space missions weren't just to go into space. They were building rockets. What have we used the majority of the rockets that we've ever built? To shoot at each other.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's where science and war meet, we get innovation. I think is one quote from the text. And it's not true.
So what he's saying is we weren't necessarily trying to go up into space. We needed to go up into space to test out our limits in rocket building.
Yes. Why is the government going to spend a butt ton of money when they can just get Bill Joe Bob that is $1 million to put his $1 million into it?
Yeah.
And then they come in and be like, so what did you learn?
Yeah.
Like, can we run tests with you?
Yeah.
We'll just jot down what we need.
Yeah.
And so with Neuralink, it's kind of like that, not necessarily for war, I don't think, but it's like we're doing this for science, for medical reasons, but with this technology, because if we can get funding for the medical stuff,
Then you can,
then you can do the fun stuff.
Right.
Then you get into cyberpunk, and it's a little weird.
Yeah, man. It's people ask me like, you're like a conspiracy theorist. Why would you want to put something like that in your brain? Obviously, that's like everything you're against. No, it's not. No, it's not. Actually, Elon is someone I trust because he's, like I don't see him being one of the elites. Like,
No.
He's
most
actually
of the
going
elites
against
hate
the
him.
grain. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
going against the grain.
So, I mean,
The man wants to die on Mars. That's his goal
if
in life.
if a man says that to you, he's got bigger priorities than whatever's happening down.
He doesn't want a nice house. He doesn't want a lot of money in savings. He doesn't want generational wealth. He doesn't want a family.
He bought Gene Wilder's house and then did nothing with it.
Yeah, just to
And then
have
moved out of his own house.
it. Yeah. And he's a minimalist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's he is, I can imagine if I had as much money as Elon Musk had,
You would be too.
I would just be Elon Musk.
Yeah.
He is not I am him. Just poor.
Yeah. Well,
Poor and half his age.
yeah. Well, he was also poor up
Yeah.
until selling PayPal.
Yeah. He also didn't have hair.
Yeah.
That picture every time makes me laugh because then it's like put right next to the picture of like I think one of the rocket launches and he's just got sunglasses on and he's just got a mean mug.
Yeah. It's also Bezos, same thing, man.
Oh yeah.
Bezos looked like a bum back in the day in his little Amazon closet.
Money won't make you happy, but it can buy you the things that will.
Yeah, it can. It can definitely give you an opportunity to be happy if you want to be.
You just got to be smart enough.
You should be smart enough.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Neuralink's cool, man.
I just thought about something with Neuralink though.
What you got?
That's the next step for us, like.
To become robots.
Well, yes,
Or
but
cyborgs.
that's the next step for us to have better prosthetics.
Yeah.
Because if you have a prosthetic, the problem with prosthetics is that it's hard to
Maneuver it.
move it like an actual hand.
Make it function.
Yes, we are getting there where like they just hook it up to the nerves, and that's cool, but that's also a lot more work. Whereas if you just strapped it to your arm, but then connected it to your Neuralink that you already have in your head,
And your brain is
your brain is doing what it's meant to do.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So he said that within a few years of Neuralink being up, you should be able to download your Neuralink to any computer.
Yeah.
Which also means you could download all your memories, everything you've ever seen, and your conscious to any robot.
See, the key with that is, just because you download your conscience does not mean you are in the computer.
Right.
That's the thing with like cloning or like teleportation when they're like, just because you teleport does not mean what comes out on the other end is you.
Right.
Like watching movies and stuff, it's still Captain Kirk getting beamed up. It's still Captain Kirk.
Right.
It's got all the same brain chemistry and everything. But the Captain Kirk that was on the planet that got beamed up is gone.
Yeah.
Because they had to dematerialize his atoms and then bring him back.
Yeah.
That's kind of scary to me.
Yeah.
And so with downloading your consciousness, just because there's going to be another you, doesn't mean it's you.
But what if it is, and you just don't die?
Now, if the Neuralink is connected to it, and that's an extension of your brain, I could see that. I could see where that comes in.
What if, instead of virtual reality, what if
Cyberspace.
you have a robot that is you?
That's kind of like the. Did you ever see the movie Gamer with?
Yes.
Yeah.
With Spartan homie.
Yeah.
Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler. Yep. That's the kind of thing that I think we're gonna get into, but just with robots instead of people. That'd be pretty cool. Just having gladiator fights.
Listen, in 40 years from now, when people will listen to this podcast, because it's going to be a massive hit, right?
Maybe that's when we open the Terramana, is when we hit 1 million
Yeah.
subscribers.
And when they say, oh, did you know that on Chat with Gunner, episode 16, Gunner said that we're going to become robots, exactly how this happened?
Listen.
That's when I get famous.
You can't predict the future unless you talk about it.
That's right. And that's how I'm going to get famous.
God.
That little quote that I said on Chat with Gunner, episode 16. That one little soundbite, 30 seconds, is going to get us famous in 40 years.
Oh my gosh, he was right. He can tell
Out of
the
everything
future.
we've said, something has to be right.
Yeah, like that's the thing with like Joe Rogan, South Park, Simpsons. They say so much and make so many jokes or whatever.
Something's got to be right.
Something's gonna be right.
Yeah.
1,500 episodes of Joe Rogan,
Yeah. Something's
and then
right.
however thousands of episodes of South Park and Simpsons.
Yeah, something's
They're
right.
gonna get something right.
Now, a lot of it's wrong,
Oh yeah,
but some of it's right.
it's also funny because you're like, with South Park at least, nobody's ever gonna do that.
Yeah.
And then
They do.
LeBron wears a vote or die T-shirt that was literally on South Park 4 years ago.
Right? Isn't that weird?
It's so weird. Except it was P. Diddy there, not LeBron. Art imitates life, but sometimes life imitates art.
That's good. All right, man.
Let's get out of here.
I'm out of here.
Yeah,
Let's
that was a
get
good
outta here.
episode.
That was fun.
We
That was
talked.
I know
for a
you.
solid
I know
hour.
you love those episodes.
Oh yeah.
These episodes are actually just for a reason for me and Ethan to come in here and talk to each other for an hour and,
Yeah.
and just record it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Go to YouTube, subscribe, hit the bell notification, leave a comment, go to Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star review, go over to Spotify, and make us the next Joe Rogan. All right. See you guys. Bye.